exponentially. It's changing rapidly and we're struggling to keep up. New information is coming at us from all sides, and accessible media has become our daily life. Our world is now reacting to information, trying to keep up with anything and everything this constantly changing world can throw at us. We do this because that's the way we think we are going to get to where we want to go. We're trying to achieve our goals in this fast-paced, do-it-all way that doesn't work for everyone and is costing us quite a bit. So thus the problem becomes, how do we get out of this cycle of just processing information and not actually digesting it? How do we go about creating our own paths, our own ideas, our own lives, instead of staying stuck in the stream of other people's news? We lead this fast-paced lifestyle that we think will help us succeed. It's understood that maybe we should slow down a bit, but we can't manage to find time to because we think that what we're doing now is working for us. Do well in school, go to university, get your degree, get a high-paying, well-respected job, make money doing your job, settle down, get a nice house, nice car, have kids, retire comfortably, and there you go. You're happy. This is society's standard definition of success. These are the goals we're taught to work towards and the formula we're taught to adhere by. It's all done because of the outward perceptions. We work for these goals so that at the end of the day, we'll have something to show for them. You get the nice house and the nice car by having a good job, and to do that, you need to excel in university, and to do that, you need to do your best in school. It's all been ingrained in our lives since we were little. Or so we think. We just make this unconscious effort to believe it and to follow it, because that's what we think we should do. However, it is not necessarily what we should do or what will work for us. We, as a generation, are very much bogged down in expectations of how our lives should be. There's this seemingly golden pathway to get there, but it doesn't work out for everyone. Some people are giving more than they are getting. Take South Korea for an example. Secondary school students in South Korea get an average of 5 hours and 27 minutes of sleep per night, a number that had gone down from previous years. This is compared to the 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night they should be getting to stay healthy. And of these sleep-deprived kids, over half said that they lost sleep due to studying. This can lead to suicidal thoughts. 37% of secondary school students in South Korea said that they had suicidal thoughts in the past year, and of this, 40% said that it was due to poor grades. They're stressed, and the pressure on them is on, and it's wearing them down. It's wearing us down. We're hamsters in wheels spinning much faster than our capacity. We're trying to follow what we believe is the best way to succeed, to keep up with anything and everything we possibly can, but it's not working. Something that can help us get to where we want to go is the idea of equifinality. The concept of equifinality is that there are many different paths, many different ways to get to the same conclusion from different events. Now, we understand this. We get that maybe we don't have to do everything in exactly the way the formula tells us to do, but we don't practice it. My uncle was over one day and we were just chatting about the regular things. School, life, all of that. When he asked me what I was doing, I listed it all. The school clubs, extracurriculars, volunteering, and he just looked at me and he asked why. I responded that these are the things I've been taught I need to do to get where I want to go, and it's what looks good to universities. He then told me a story of his own. When he was being interviewed for universities, they didn't ask him anything about his economics-related courses, which is the field he was going into at the time. Instead, they asked him about his AP European History course, totally unrelated. He didn't deserve to get in, he says, probably because he thinks he didn't do what all the other applicants did, all the things that the formula tells us to do. But he enjoys history, and so he pursued it. And arguably, it's what got him in. Afterwards, it got me thinking about what I should be doing. Most of the things I did before were just, what I thought I should be doing. But after slowing down and taking time to reflect, I realized that I really do enjoy creative writing. So I started writing more. And it's been a slow success, with some success in poetry anthologies and magazines, but it's something. It's progress. This relates directly to equifinality and that there are many different paths you can take to reach your ideal end result. People may have a similar end goal of happiness, but the journey to get there should be different for all. If you want to get into the university and get the desired job and so on and so forth, you don't have to do everything that the formula tells you to do. You just have to slow down and figure out what works for you. Doing this will ultimately help you. So what do we need to do? When we feel ourselves getting overwhelmed, we need to pause and ask ourselves a question. Why are we doing the things we are doing? Are we doing them because we love them? The ideas of doing what we love and achieving success adhering to the formula are not mutually exclusive. We're taught they are, though. We're taught to think in these black and white extremes. We're taught to think that doing what we love will somehow compromise our success adhering to the formula. But that's false. They can 100% connect. Again, equifinality shows us that we can do what we love and what is important to us and still achieve that desired end result. And to get out there and start realizing this, to start practicing this, we need to slow down. First, think about where you want to go. Perhaps you do want to get into the good university and get the good job and so on and so forth, but you have to think about how you're going to get there. How can your goals merge with what you want to do? Because often we just don't see that they follow the same path. This can't be realized if we don't take the time to think about it. We can get out of the cycle of just processing other people's information by realizing what it is we want to do and where it is we want to go. Not just what other people have done or want to do, not just what we've been taught to do. So how do we slow down and figure out what works for us? That's the big question, isn't it? I think we just need to think a little bit more objectively. Just for a second, put aside everything that you've been taught, all your personal, family, and cultural biases, all of your identity factors, and just think about. Put on a new pair of glasses and think about what you really enjoy and where you want to go. Because there's always a way to get there. We are taught to follow this formula. We are taught to do well in school, go to university, get a good job, become financially stable, retire happy, and thus we will be happy. We are taught that if we don't, we will be sacrificing something. Whether it is financial income, stability, or otherwise, we are taught that we will lose something. We see this formula, we see what other people have done and are doing, and we think, okay, it's working for them, so I'm just going to follow it, and it's going to work perfectly for me. But everyone's different. So will it? You are the one who needs to come to this realization. You are the one who needs to hit pause and think. Doing all of this, realizing that there's a problem, slowing down, and thinking about how we need to move forward will help us to lead better lives as we won't be running ourselves into the ground doing unnecessary things. This idea of slowing down and trying to practice equifinality doesn't just have to be applied to your future career success. It can be applied to other situations as well. It can be applied to life. So just take a moment and think about where you're going, what you're doing, and what you want to do. You have time to. Don't try to lie to yourself. And think about what you're working for. Why are you doing the things you are doing? Don't just keep reacting and processing. Start creating and enjoying it back. So spend it on what is beneficial. Ask yourself, is what you're doing working for you, or are you too caught up in the fast-paced cycle? And what is that costing you? Napoleon Hill once said, "You are the master of your own destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be." So start influencing, start directing, and start controlling. There are many different paths to get to the same conclusion. We just need to slow down and see them. Thank you very much.